Oh, there's chunks of shit in here. Like a glove. Brother. What's going on, y'all? We are here with a special edition from Yeti Machine Co. We're actually at my buddy Jeff's house. If you guys recognize this bike, this is that FXR that I've done a few things on the channel, and it rode with us to Texas and actually broke down. And so when we got back, we unloaded everything here, and it's been here since. And now we're finally going to take a look at it. Just doing a little bit of a house call. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just work on the bike where it's at than drag it all the way to my shop. And my buddy Jeff here has a dope ass shop out of his house, so we're gonna use that for this.
Who's this dude?
Sorry. That's Blake. That's the guy that owns the bike.
Hi.
What's going on, y'all? It's Yeti from Yeti Machine Company. If you're watching this, I appreciate you. If you do already subscribe to my page, awesome. If not, go subscribe. Go give it a like. Also, just so you know, if you check out the link up top, got my website up there. I got shirts, I got hats, I got all kinds of cool stuff. So hit that up, get a shirt, support me. Thanks, y'all. So yeah, we were on the 20. We're kind of blessed in California. We can split lanes, but in Texas it's illegal. So they had traffic stopped. The bikes were getting hot, and we were kind of walking them, and I was sitting there like about ready to shut my bike off, and then Blake's bike just died on the road, just shut down. And so we tried a couple things on the side of the road and just couldn't get it to fire. So it ended up in the back of Mazzo's truck the rest of the trip. And honestly, I know Blake was bummed, but I don't think he was too bummed because his leg was all fucked up. So. Man down. He was sad about having to not ride, but also I'm sure it was a relief for his previous injury. We put a new ignition coil on it and new plugs.
Put it on there and it fired up,
but
then something's
making a lot of noise
down there.
So I'm hoping it sounds like it's a primary noise, and that's what I'm really hoping for because it was loud. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tear into the primary and then just kind of dig through the bike and try to figure out what happened, get him back on the road. Because now starting to warm up a little bit. Yeah, want to get him back on the road.
Blake, so what's the story behind this bike?
This was my grandpa's bike. He bought it brand new in '92. Rode it all over the place. Rode it to work every day. Put 200,000 miles on it and pulled the engine. Sent it back to Milwaukee, and they rebuilt it. And he put it back in and put another like 75,000 miles on it. When he passed away, I ended up inheriting it and doing my best to keep it up. Yeah, we've ridden, with you to New Mexico, to Idaho, to Louisiana, and part of the way back now.
How far did your grandpa ever make it on this bike? Like how far out of California?
I know he rode it to Sturgis. I don't know if that's the furthest he ever went.
Well, the fact that we made it all the way to Louisiana on this thing, that's pretty ridiculous. Like yours is definitely the oldest bike out of everybody's in our group.
Yeah.
And it made it that far. Like it's fucking impressive. But it's also because Yeti put in a lot of time on this thing, right?
Yeah, Yeti's done a lot of work on it for me to keep it going after all these miles.
All right, who's this fool with the bald head?
This is Jeff. He's kind enough to let us work on Blake's bike here. As much as he hates people, he loves his friends. Most of them. Oh, fuck. Not the ones that are dumping shit, making a mess. Thank you. I'm just like, why the fuck? Ooh, what was that? I heard a chunk of shit fall out.
Metal?
Yeah, a big chunk of metal.
Oh.
Well, that's actually a good sign, I think, because we'd rather be something broken inside of the primary than like the motor. You got rags too?
Yeah, it's free too.
Okay, cool. Rags.
Yeah, that's a bit of something.
Yeah, there's all kinds of chunks of shit all over the magnet too.
Everything bad happened in Texas.
Hecky's bike, my bike, yep. Kyle's bike.
All of them.
Is right as we got to Amarillo.
happened in fucking Texas.
I got hurt in Texas.
You got
Raven
hurt in
hurt in
Texas.
Texas. Everything bad that happened in Texas. Yeah.
Except for Jeff. Jeff didn't have shit happen to him.
Yeah. The fucking Warhammer fucking survived that. He's the only bike on that trip that didn't have a problem. Everyone else's shit fucking broken one way or the other.
Like, was it like a low fuel issue or?
Chain's still tight. Huge discounts are applied if you supply the alcohol. I should have grabbed my fucking impact. Idiot. Dude, you know what I'm thinking, Blake? I wonder if your fucking stator took a shit. Because that would make sense when the battery fucking died.
Battery died.
Like one of the that just popped into my head. Like, because remember how Kyle's had the magnet was coming loose and it chewed up I wonder if that's what happened. We never did the charging system on this bike, did we?
Nope, we've done basically everything except for that.
Kyle's bike would start too. It would still start, but it wouldn't stay on. And that's exactly what happened to Blake's bike. It would start, but then it wouldn't stay on. But last time you started it here, was it staying on, or did you?
Yeah,
have
but
to
it had a new battery, and then it fucking died again.
No, it didn't have a new battery. It was the same.
Or we
battery.
charged it.
But did it die on its own?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Either way, if the stator would make a fuck ton of noise and leave a bunch of fucking chips all over the place. And oh, there's chunks of shit in here. Oh, I think it might be your stator, Blake. Yeah, I'm gonna bet you lost your stator and rotor. That's good though, as long as it didn't fuck up anything.
Right.
Like,
Hopefully we shut it off quick enough.
yeah. Sick. So, on most Harley Davidsons, big twin Sportsters, Evo and up, use a basically an alternator like a car, and then it gets converted through the regulator into 12 volts. So what you have is you have this big plate back here, has magnets on it. That's called your rotor. Your rotor spins around a coil of wires on your stator. As those magnets are spinning around that coil of wires, it generates alternating current. So you have alternating current comes out of these two wires, goes into the regulator, goes through a set of diodes that cleans up that current from an alternating current, makes it a direct current, 12 volts. Well, like 14 when it's running, and that's what charges your battery. What can happen, those magnets are just glued on the inside of that ring, and we're gonna see when I take this apart, over time or because of heat or because of vibration, whatever, the magnets can dislodge off of that rotor, and that's spinning and this part in the center is not, and it can chew the shit out of the stator, and then you need a new stator. They're not too expensive. In my opinion, I always go with Cycle Electric. Cycle Electric's one of the only electronics manufacturers that I know that still actually makes their parts in the United States. They have a lifetime guarantee if you use their regulator and their stator, and so that's who I recommend. They're kind of on the expensive side, so if you're looking for more of a budget, you can get it from Drag Specialties or something like that, and they're imported. But in my opinion, in my experience, I've had very hit or miss with the quality of some of those electronics. I've got some guys that have the cheap regulator they've been running forever, and then I've had customers where 6 months later they burned it up. So my opinion, do it right the first time, because it's not super hard to do. If you're gonna do it, try to do it once and be done with it. That's my opinion. That's good, Blake. That makes me happy. Yeah, I thought I didn't even want to say it out loud, but I was worried you fucking smoked your bottom end or something while we were out there, and we were gonna be putting a new motor in this thing. Yeah, so I've actually been in this primary before. So we upgraded to an Evolution clutch. We upgraded to a Hayden automatic chain tensioner, and then upgraded to an Evolution compensator eliminator. It's a lighter component, and also, so you go to start your bike and it's like, clack, clack, clack. It sounds fucking crazy. It's because the compensator's bad. And so when you start making more power with these things, it's more susceptible to eat up compensators, and they're fucking expensive. But anyways, this is a lot cheaper to do than replacing it with the factory compensator. All the bikes that I've put them on, we haven't had any weird issues. The only thing you do notice, you feel a little bit more vibration through the driveline, but you know, it's a fucking Harley, so. So we need to change that. What I want to do is leave the chain on and leave it all attached, because the way to break this shit loose is sticking something between the chain and the sprocket. That's the easiest way to do it. Then we take the tensioner off. We're gonna take the clutch basket and the compensator nut off as a unit to keep them together. And then we'll be able to get to the rotor and see what the damage is there. Ooh, you can hear it.
You hear the rotor?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard the crunch.
Yeah, it's crunching. Yeah, you can hear it.
It's like sand.
Yeah. Ugh, fucking hell. It's just I don't have
Enough leverage.
I'm a weak bitch and I need to step on it with my fat. Use 230 pounds of leverage.
Whatever it was last time.
Whatever the fuck I weigh right now. Ooh, hear it?
Yeah, it was crunchy. Ooh. It's like it's chewing cereal.
Oh yeah, dude. Come here, Blake. Look at the rotor. Watch the rotor. See how it's staying still?
Yeah.
It's fucked.
I think that's the magnet material, not even metal.
Is it sticking? Let me see. Does it stick? Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, so confirmed.
That's supposed to turn with the motor. So it fucking chewed the teeth off that fucker.
That's crazy that you and Kyle had the same thing go out.
Brother.
Brother.
Look at how much the rotor moves.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what happened to Kyle. It's like exactly what happened to Kyle. Do you have any like flat stock metal?
Cut this and make it out of this, or is that too small?
If I can flatten that, yeah.
I can flatten my vise for sure.
Okay. Yeah, fuck yeah. That'll work. We'll just do that because this is just going to beat up on the tensioner. The dumb idiot that put this on put it on too tight. So I got to have a fucking conversation with that guy. That's a good way to get it out. Yeah.
Oh, perfect length.
Shit, it might be. Making a tool for my friend Jeff for Blake's bike. Basically, it's just a spreader bar. I've made one before, actually, on one of the other episodes, I think. But you're using a piece of metal to wedge in between the compensator nut and the clutch basket, and it's a little bit. God damn it! It's a little bit stronger of a method of locking that stuff up. Drank too much beer. Like a glove. Oh yeah, look at that straight ass cut, dude. Fucking professional, baby. Yeah, boy. Okay, you just lock it like that.
There we go.
There we go. Fucking hell. Fucking 8 put that thing on before. Okay, so pop that off. So now this guy will be loose, and we'll break this one loose.
This reverse thread?
Yep. Yes, sir. Holy shit, dude. Look at that fucking thing. Look at that. Fucking broke the whole shit apart.
That's that noise.
Yeah, that'll make the noise. I've never seen one bust like that before.
Is it worse than Kyle's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Kyle's was, well, we haven't
Kyle's
taken,
just ate the teeth.
well, we haven't taken the cover off, but wasn't his like crumbled? It crumbled apart.
Well, no, this one will be too. Huh. Stator's not as bad as I thought it was, but yeah, this thing fucking nuked itself. I mean, it chewed the stator up, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so. Good.
Damn.
That thing fucking, Jesus.
Why
It's
is
a
there?
chewed up I mean, these magnets are loose. It's fucked.
Okay.
They're supposed to be epoxied on the inside of this thing, so.
Are they like evenly spaced in there, or are they supposed to be touching each
Evenly
other?
spaced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those all came loose and just started touching each other.
Yep, this one's loose. This one's loose. Yeah, that's what happened. It locked itself up. Hello.
What is that?
So this is the part that actually locks up against the motor. And that's actually nice that this is the way it broke. Because otherwise it shears these splines inside of this thing and can chew up the crank, and then you fuck your bottom end. So
like best break possible.
yeah, it broke in the best fucking way possible. It just basically separated the inner from the rotor.
And let it chew up the part that already
And let
needs
it
to be
chew it up.
replaced.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
But good news is, besides making a mess and fucking up Blake's day, I don't think it really did any major damage. And we might need to get a new crank seal in there, but it didn't chew into his case at all. Nothing major. Just kind of spit shit all over the place and fucked his day up. But I'm really glad. That seems like it could have been a lot fucking worse. And honestly, Blake, it's the best place it could have happened. Because if we were going fucking 90 and that happened, you could have locked your whole shit up and gone down over it.
With Raven on the back.
With Raven on the back, like, just order the Cycle Electric.
Yeah.
Because Cycle Electric makes a whole kit: rotor, stator, regulator for like $400.
So like maybe a total like 500 in parts. Yeah.
Give or take, yeah.
Versus
Versus
what could have been $2,000 or more.
Ripping everything out.
Yeah. So we've figured out what's wrong with it. We know that it nuked the stator, and it looks like basically the rotor, one of the magnets came off and hit the stator, and so that's where the damage and the noise was from. So we're gonna get parts on order, and we will be right back.
Later.
There we go. Jesus, couldn't figure out how to work my fucking camera. What's going on, y'all? We're back in our house call. Unfortunately, Robert is not going to be filming with us today, so we're working with the action cam. He caught whatever new bullshit's going on.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
So it's just me and Blakers over there. And yeah, so we're back working on the FXR. So we got a whole new stator, new rotor, a bunch of good shit. While we had the bike apart, after our Texas trip, Blake had some problems with the chain conversion. Now, this might be a little bit controversial, but we're actually going to convert this thing back to belt. The whole point of us converting this thing to a chain drive in the previous times working on this thing was so that we could get a little bit better top end with the gearing. So we ran a what would be a taller gear setup. But for maintenance purposes, you know, chains require a lot more work. And so we were able to locate a setup that's going to give him actually a little bit better of a final drive ratio, more of a top end final drive ratio. So went ahead and picked up this, it's all dirty from the packing grease, but it's an Andrews 34 tooth front sprocket. And then we got a 65 tooth from a Softail. So that puts our final drive ratio actually taller than with the chain setup that we had. So we also are going to go ahead and replace the shift shaft. The knurl was a little bit fucked up on it. Got a new shifter. And then this is a Cycle Electric kit. Got a whole new stator, new rotor, new regulator. That's pretty much it, like major work. Obviously, we got a new belt for it. And so, yeah, we're going to get this thing finally back on the road for him and keep it moving. So, are you fucking stoked, Blake?
I'm very stoked.
He's very stoked. So, we got a new battery to put in too, but that's not really like big mechanically speaking. So, the reason why we decided to go back to belt drive right now is because half the work is tearing all this primary shit apart. So, since we already had to have it apart to do the charging system, we figured we might as well just pull the inner primary, swap it back over to a belt drive, and she'll be ready to party. So yeah, now that I've got all these primary bolts off, I got to go on the other side and get the starter bolts off. Once those are pulled, then we'll be ready to pull the inner primary off. Come on, baby. Come on. What is the problem? Are we missing a bolt here? So I was sitting here beating on the damn inner to get it off, and I totally forgot that there is a little bolt back here on the back side of the primary. So make sure that you're not a dumbass like me. Start trying to pull the inner primary off when you don't have all the bolts out. So that's a good idea. All right, so now we should be able to get this thing off.
Hey!
Look at that! It's crazy how that works. So now we've got our inner primary off. As you can see, we got to the motor. Transmission's pretty dirty. Got a little bit of scuzz going on there, so I guess it's actually kind of a good thing because this this new pulley kit came with a spacer and a seal. This, what we're doing here, has nothing to do with what happened to the charging system. This is just us changing it back from a chain drive to a belt drive. Also, apologize for coughing a lot. I think I just got over being sick, so I don't know what's going on or what's going around, but that's why Robert's not here, is because he's sick. So it's cold season, or it could be fucking the Bovid. We don't know. Bovid 2.0 coming for us. Hopefully this isn't some kind of Nostradamus prediction. but yeah, so anyways, we're going to pull this shit off. I'm going to end up having to cut the chain. The chain's clapped anyways. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and remove that and get the transmission cleaned up. We'll get the rear pulley on, and then we'll start putting her back together. So, one thing to remember, and I forgot, so I had to look it up on somebody else's video. This is actually reverse thread. If you had the back wheel on, you have somebody hold the brake and do it with the chain. The other thing you can do is make a fancy dancy lockup tool. Thanks, Jeff, for letting me fuck your tools up. But I'm just going to put this 1/2-inch extension in here between the tooth of the sprocket and the frame, and then that's what's going to be locking this thing from moving. Again, it's reverse thread, so it's righty loosey, lefty tighty. God damn it. Oh, fucking bitch. 110 foot-pounds, baby. Now, should be able to pull this sprocket right off. Bada boom, bada bing. So the power of cameras, this thing's clean, aka Blaker's cleaned it. So we've got, yeah, clean enough. So we've got that. We've got the new seal in around the crank. So we've got Mr. Mazzolini coming through the gate. We're gonna be putting the new seal in there, the new spacer, and then we will move on to putting in the new stator. So making progress.
How do you get the fucking belt around all this?
That's a great question, Blake. So another thing I didn't really think through. Now here's the new pulley. Look how big that bastard is. That is a 34 tooth pulley. So we're gonna put that and then the 65 in the back. But what I forgot on FXRs is there's no way to get the belt on without taking off the motor mount. So that's what we got to do next. We're gonna have to basically wedge the motor up, pop this off, pop this mount off, and then hopefully be able to fish the belt. We got to take this off too, but we can fish the belt around the swing arm and everything. And yeah, so good times. Good fucking times, baby. So we actually have to remove the swing arm off the back side of the motor so that we can fish the belt in there. So it's a little bit more work, but that's what we're working on right now. Yep. Here's the pivot shaft. Just slide this back.
Grab the belt.
Yeah, look, more shit for you to clean, Blake. Jesus. So now we've got to pop the shock off so that we can slide the chain off and slide the new belt on. That's the idea. There we go. Okay, you can let the swing arm down. Okay, it's hanging on that other shock. Now, because the axle's on here, we gotta pop the axle off. Go ahead and slide it through. There we go. Finish this. What that was. Alrighty. Alright, so belt's on. Now we're just gonna actually kind of just reassemble everything, how we took it apart, and keep it moving. So we've got the swing arm back together after all that bullshit. I went ahead and torqued down this pulley. The next thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go on Blake's wheel. We're gonna bust that sprocket off, and we're gonna put the 65 tooth on. We're gonna get the wheel on there and mock it up, make sure the stock length belt is gonna work. So we'll see. All right, so we got the back wheel back on. We got the pulley on there. Wanted to make sure the belt was the right length. It's a little bit farther back on the adjuster than I'd like, but we still have about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of adjustment if it gets loose. So that's good. So yeah, the belt worked. Belt drives back in, and so now we're just gonna slap the inner primary back together and put the charging system back together. I already put on the regulator. Pretty easy swap. Still got to wire it in, but yeah, we're just gonna keep it moving on the inner primary and get this bike back together. This is the new stator from Cycle Electric, American made. It's pretty easy once you get the actual part out. It comes with new hardware. It actually has Loctite on the hardware already, so you don't need to put extra Loctite on there. Especially with the inner primary off, it's a lot easier to get to. That's why I'm doing it now instead of after we put the inner primary back on. But pretty much, you want to make sure that your cables are on the back side. You're gonna slip this guy up through here, and then you're gonna have to wiggle and push and work it up through this hole. So just be careful, you don't want to poke through the wires, but you want to get it up through the hole, and then now it's sitting flush, and you can plug your regulator in. Now these are tight connections, you want them to be tight because they want to be weatherproof. So that's on there. Bada boom, bada bing, baby. We're back, it's a new day. So we got the inner primary on. I had to actually get some O-rings to go back behind these guys so that we don't get any oil coming out. And then I'm gonna be putting silicone on here. I think the belt drive looks pretty good. So we've got the 34 tooth up here. We've got 65 back here. So that should give us a pretty tall gear range. Yeah, and if you guys like what you're watching, do me a favor. Go like, oh, hang on. There we go. Go like this video, go subscribe, go leave me a comment. Talk some shit to me if you want, I don't care. Alrighty, you boys ready for the first motherfucking fire on this piece of shit? Like 6 months? Fire up, Blake.
Alright.
There we go, baby. Yeah, let her warm up a little bit. No more knockety knock. Fucking hype.
Fuck yeah.
All right, well that's it for this one. If you guys could do me a favor, go like this video, go subscribe, go leave a comment, talk some shit. Appreciate y'all watching. Super hyped to get this thing back on the road for my boy, so have a good one, y'all.